Welcome back to Reverend Shaman. I am your Reverend Shaman, and today I am in mom clothes. Woo! How exciting! I got my necklace that I found this at a weird flea market when I was in college. I've got my Savage shirt on. My hair's up. When your hair's up, you know it's because you didn't want to wash it. What? I didn't say that. Alright, so today I am going to own my royal flub from yesterday, or today, whatever day it was, about some crystals. I think I got a little caught up in all of the excitement of the, just being so excited about talking to you. Really. And I was just like, guys, look at all this stuff! Words and things. Not exactly the best look, because honestly, I got some of the crystals wrong. I didn't have much to say about the crystals. It was kind of disappointing. And I'm not going to take it down, because this is a fun video to make. It just wasn't very factual. And really, to be honest, I don't like to hide my shame. I don't like to hide those things that are like slightly embarrassing. You know, I mean, look at me, I'm wearing. Yeah, I don't like to be like, oh, I made a mistake. They can't see me, right? I made a mistake. They can't. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Get here how you get here. Come as you are. We're here together. We kind of screw up things sometimes. So let's get started. You can see I'm wearing this. I'm still wearing this card deck. I'm holding the my cards already because I am on fire to talk to you tonight. I'm not on fire, I promise. This is the card deck we're working with. It's one we haven't used before, and it dovetails pretty well with what I'm going to talk about. Butterfly deck by Doreen Virtue. Again, the angel lady, as most people know her. Very wonderful. Very wonderful. All of her stuff is just really uplifting and really good to get feedback that has some meat to it, but at the same time you're not like, oh my gosh, I got the death card. Alright, so, and here we have our teeny tiny mirrors. Look at them, they're so beautiful. I might just pull two. Now, the other day I was pulling cards with my sister, actually here on a video we made for you guys, which you will see, it just isn't up yet. But I made that with her, and I was pulling, I think, the Enchanted Map, and I was like, I better not get that stupid butterfly card, because we were talking about life changes, and she's like, what? So keep a lookout for that one, because that one's about life changes, and I really just wanted something meaty to sink into, other than, you're going through a transition in your life, which was like, duh, you know, but something awesome did happen, and I hope you watch it. But enough about that. Let's look at these, because I love the butterfly cards, and all of these are assuming that you are going through some kind of life transition, whatever it may be. It could be a new job, it could be a move, it could be you know, the big ones like divorce or death in the family, birth, marriage, wedding. These are all times that I tell people to buy life insurance, but that's not where we are right now. But when we go through those changes, everything gets crazy, and it all seems like it's gonna be not okay because it's not what you were used to before. But then it kind of levels out, and you realize that you're in a spot of stability. And these tell you which spot you're in before stability, how far stability is away sometimes, and kind of just like the the emotion of what you're going through. So, yeah, we're going to do this. And I'm sure you don't want to... Whoa, there it is. It fell on the floor. You know what that means? It means your life is falling on the floor. No, it doesn't really mean anything, I think. Let's find out what it was. Yeah. What do we got? This is a good one. You are stronger than you know. You are stronger than you know. Think about that. It's true. Every life change is about building strength within yourself in ways that you didn't even know were possible. So let's read and find out. This one's also alphabetical, so fortunately Y is all the way at the end. You're stronger than you know. Challenging situations show your inner strength, especially when you seem to have no choice but to handle the matter directly. This card is encouraging you to keep going and call upon that deep well of strength God has given you. It is within you now, and you can draw it upward to serve you, like a tree drinking water from its roots. While you may feel like giving up, this is a time to persevere. It's a self-test, so that you can gauge how much strength you truly have. After the situation is resolved, you'll feel safer and more confident because you'll know that you can rely upon yourself. Ooh, that one got me. That one got me good. Additional meaning: strength training at the gym. Not for me. That's not my message. Nope. Asserting yourself, probably. Not backing down. Fighting peacefully for your health and wellness. Or championing a cause. Look at that. You've got so much going for you. You are stronger than you know. And whatever it is that you're working through and dealing with, you can handle it. It's a lot. It is. I know. This might look like privileged white girl bullshit, but I know what it's like to struggle. I don't know the same struggles as anyone but me, but I know what that struggle is. Well, that was fitting because strength does come from the earth, and it was talking about the roots. Where do roots go? Into the earth. And look what I have. These two crystals. This one is the one that I screwed up on my last crystal video. I couldn't remember the name for it, so I called it black malachite, which is not accurate. I'll tell you what it is though in a minute. This is the other one. If anyone of you can guess it before I say it, and just type it in the comments, you might know what it is. So I'm going to tell you first the energies of these two stones, and through that I'm going to tell you a story. Christmas 2017, 2016, one of them. My brother actually gave me these exact stones for a specific reason, much to my mother's chagrin, because she does not like the fact that I do any of this, but she's tolerating it well enough, so we're in a good place with that. He gave me this one, and what he told me it represents is transition. This stone helps us through transition. Look at those cool layers on the side here. I hope you can see that. It's like not actually bumpy, it's smooth. But these reminds me of some kind of a candy. But in order to get those kind of foldy layers like that, there's a glare. In order to get those foldy layers like that, it has to go smush, stretch, heat, smush, 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 smush. And when we go through the smushing process, it does not feel good. It does not feel like it looks beautiful. And then all of a sudden you have this. There we go. That's much better. Now you can see it. This one is very, very powerfully grounding. And a lot of people use this stone, which I haven't told you the name of yet because that's irrelevant at this point. A lot of people would use this stone for protection. But because it's so grounding, that's what protects us, because we're digging our roots into the earth. The grounding stones, and all of the stones have a grounding aspect to it because they are made of the earth. But the grounding stones really give us that ability to sink into, to stand our ground in that moment. And you can't have strength if you're ungrounded. If you're sort of like this and somebody pushes, or you're falling over already and somebody pushes you over, no problem to push you over. If you are grounded, you are more protected because you are strengthened into your grounding. Interesting story. A friend of a friend was given one of these. She wore it in a necklace. And she actually was going through a lot of turmoil in her life. I don't know what the story exactly was, but there was a lot of things happening, and there was, abuse, stuff like that kind of happening, and she was wearing that, and it broke in her necklace, like shattered. And that can happen with a stone because we no longer need it anymore. What we need is, when it shatters with a stone, when it gets lost, we don't need it anymore. But when it shatters, that means that the energy running through it is too strong, and it can't continue to run it anymore. It just explodes. So if that happens to you, then you might need to get your own emotions in check and see what you're actually surrounding yourself with. Because if you're sitting there freaking out all the time and always wanting to be in these really, really terrifying situations, like that's sort of a space of safety for you, then start to value yourself a little bit more. And these stones can help you with that. But if you're shattering them, it means you're really resisting the work that they're doing. And if you are getting those inclusions in your stones, then you're probably using the wrong stone. Okay. So that is my diatribe on this beautiful stone. Now, this is black tourmaline. Right there. It's very interesting because on my video where I totally screwed it up, the names of things, I was just like, this is malachite, which is not. What happened was I got called out. I love that. I love it. She's like, no, this is black tourmaline. And I think it's just really funny because there are so many stones that are this color and look like this, but people who are so connected to tourmaline know it. They know black tourmaline. And so that was a beautiful thing when I got called out. This is green malachite. So I totally screwed it up. It was so funny. Anyways, yeah. So green malachite is the stone of transition, of being in that space of the soup of the butterfly. So my brother, when he got me these two stones, he said, Jayanne, you're going through a lot. Here is malachite to ground you, and nope, malachite to help you with the transition, and tourmaline to help you ground. Wow, I don't know what's going on here. Apparently, I'm having some issues using these here. The malachite to help you with the transition, and the tourmaline to help you with the grounding. And I used to keep them on the either side of my altar in my old bedroom. And every day I would look at them and they would be there. And it was wonderful. And I eventually was able to, because I was living at my mom's house, I was able to move into my own space. And here I am. How cool is that? And I'm standing my ground here. This is my home. So there's that. Now, it's very interesting, this stone here on the back, you can't really see any of the beautiful patterns inside of it. But if you flip it over, there's just all these circles. So sometimes when you're going through a transition and you are actually complete, you're finished your transition, you just have it in the wrong direction. And so you got to kind of turn it on its head, or what you think is its head, to see the beauty. That's my story about that. So, and that's my correction to my big crystal screw up. So I did my story time, I did my learning time, all of my inspiration. So if you are going through a major transition, which a lot of us are, it's not only, it's kind of statistics. Number one, people go through things at different times than others. It's not like school where you go through the same thing every time. But then there's also a lot of, political instability kind of stuff that people are feeling, and a lot of social instability feelings people are having, that they're like, well, is this energy of that me, or is it my reaction to the world, or is it the world being caustic towards me? That's a big interplay of what are these things happening. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight on how to work through those changes that are happening in the world, and are happening in your life. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's the moon, the phases of the moon, and what the moon's doing, or what Uranus is doing, what Pluto is doing. I mean, a couple of years there, we were going through those squares, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Yeah, well, it's still just life, because every time I look at astrology, there's some sort of major pattern happening. So I'm pretty sure that there's just always some kind of major pattern happening, and some of them are stronger than others, but there's always a good time to heal yourself and heal the way that you deal with the world. I don't know what this whole thing is about. 219 is a big deal. I'm not sure. I keep getting YouTube video recommendations for that, so if anybody wants to talk about that, put it in the comments section. I'll look it up a little bit more, but it doesn't, I'm sure it's got something to do with the moon. Usually there's moon-related things. Because we did just have that. The moon is waxing, right? So the 19th, I think, is the full moon. I just kind of look outside and go, oh, the moon is like this. I don't remember what date it's going to be on. But it does definitely affect my life. That's for sure. The moon phase, when it's full, I've got like all this energy. When it's like a really big full moon, like one of the super moons, or it's like got other energies attached to it, I can't sleep that whole night. So I just like go, and then I crash. So I'm very connected to the phases of the moon, and the more aware I become of myself, the more I recognize this lunar cycle that I deal with regularly. Back when we had the new moon a week or two ago, a week and a half ago, I was sitting there going, which is common with the new moon. New moon's about new things, starting things, that new spark, finishing things up, not necessarily them coming to their fulfillment. That's the full moon energy, but it's that spark. That's when you plant seeds. If you're gardening, you want to plant at the new moon so that the water comes up as the moon is getting more full, because it actually has a stronger gravity on us when it's full. All right, well, there's my fun story about the moon, the story of my big screw up on YouTube yesterday, which I'm pretty sure about 3 people saw. Ooh, but somebody did comment, and so I wanted to address that. And then we talked about the moon. So that was a really great time. I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, comment. As you can see, I care about those. And, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because hitting the subscribe button is way better than smashing the subscribe button, which is not as good as like tapping it, which is also better than, throwing your phone across the room and hoping that the subscribe button gets hit when you hit it against the wall, something like that. Because, that way you get to see my videos, and if you are subscribed, then I make another big screw up and I tell you about it, you get to see that video too. So I hope you all have a great, great day, and I will talk to you soon.